belated review of Red Notice. Only for the reason that I am in disagreement with the reception this movie has got. Rawson Marshall Thurber is the director, and I'm not a massive fan of his work, but I haven't actually disliked his work either. Apart from Central Intelligence, which was dire. Skyscraper, guilty pleasure. Dodgeball, guilty pleasure. We're the Millers, guilty pleasure. This is the most expensive film, as far as I'm aware, in Netflix history. North of $200 million and three of the world's most popular movie stars in Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot. Now, they start in a very sort of basic heist movie setup where there's this MacGuffin, which are these three mysterious Fabergé-style eggs that are rumoured to have disappeared into the ether. And at the start of the film, Ryan Reynolds is this the world's greatest, robbery expert, safe cracker, etc. And he's stealing one. And Dwayne Johnson's the cop from Interpol. Interpol is not a real organisation because it only exists in movies. No one ever hears about Interpol unless it's in the film. It's so weird. I guess that's so they can film in locations in different countries. That's probably the only reason they do it. So Dwayne Johnson's chasing Ryan Reynolds, and eventually you find out some trickster information about Dwayne Johnson. But him and Gal Gadot, who is another of the world's great thieves, basically form an alliance to track down these three mysterious eggs, or the two remaining ones, travelling to good-looking international locations, engaging in long-form set pieces, very expensive ones, and so on. The reason I'm reviewing it is I nearly didn't watch this because the reviews I got really gave me the impression that I was going to get this very sort of Michael Bay, cynical, aggressively bad film. They made points about how, it was so cynical and so on. I actually found this really quite amiable and enjoyable. I thought the leads weren't. I mean, they said that Ryan Reynolds was going to be this torture because he's just one-liners worse than Deadpool all the way. I didn't really think so. I didn't think that he was that aggressively hamming up the one-liner aspect of his sarcasm and all of this. I thought it was okay. Gal Gadot is just someone I would watch. I'd sit and watch her on screen for 2 hours. I'm even considering watching the latest Kenneth Branagh. If you saw the first Kenneth Branagh Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express, it was dire. But this one's got Gal Gadot in it. So I thought as a team they were pretty decent. I thought it wasn't as bombastic as I expected. It almost existed in this world of Jungle Cruise sort of feeling. It was it definitely. I definitely didn't feel like I was. I didn't feel bad at myself for watching it afterwards. I wouldn't say it was in any way great, but I was surprised by how nice and warm and amiable it was. Like if you've seen any of those post-Michael Bay style of films, where they make you feel dirty because they're so aggressively bombastic, and it's like you really feel that the director thinks you are stupid. Whereas I thought this was relatively nice. So a very brief review of a film that's been out for a while now, but it only ever came out on streaming really anyway. So I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10 for Red Notice. There's no problems with it at all. Not really much more to say about it. Anyone else interested? No, not really. There's nothing. It just moves from one big location to another. One of the baddies in it is actually quite amiable and funny as well. And I'm disgusted at myself for actually finding the surprise appearance by Ed Sheeran very funny. That's the one bit I felt really bad about. So, oh no, you're actually really funny in this scene. So 6.5 out of 10, and I thought pretty safe viewing for Red Notice. I've certainly seen a lot more aggressively bad films than that. This is from one of two feature albums, and this is a very